the Philippines and in Lessandra. We will also be giving away prizes, so stay tuned.
Good evening, everyone. I am DJ Bernardez.
And I am Feby Manchus. Welcome to Lysandra Property Investors Night.
Before we start, we want to thank every one of you for joining us tonight.
We are indeed boundless here in Lysandra as we have attendees not only from here in the Philippines but also from overseas.
That's right, Miss Peviano. And I know everyone's excited to listen and learn from our guest speaker, presenters, and of course, to bag the minor and major prizes from our raffle throughout the event.
Yes, DJ. To officially start the program, we'd like to call on Lasandra's marketing head, Miss Crisanta de los Reyes Mariano, for her opening remarks.
Good morning, everyone. So we say good morning because our guests and attendees are not only from here in the Philippines, but from different parts of the globe. So sa lahat ng ating mga kababayan dyan, good morning po. First of all, we'd like to thank you for joining us at this event. We are very pleased to see that our partners, brokers, existing clients, and future investors are here with us and that we are able to connect with you from your homes and from your different locations. Indeed, the power of digital transformation, right? So here in Lisandra, we want to give the best to our partners and clients in the most convenient way. That's why for tonight, we invited one of the well-known content creator and speaker in financial literacy and investment to give insights on why we should invest in real estate. We are confident to say that all of us would be bringing home new learnings by the end of the event. And who knows, you might be one of our future investors who is just looking for the right time to invest. So baka eto na nga ang sign nyo. But not only that, we also prepared some surprises for all our attendees, especially to those who registered online. So please, ready your QR code scanners. So without further ado, let me welcome everyone. Welcome to Lysandra. Welcome to Lysandra's Property Investors Night.
All right. So thank you, Miss Crisanta. Sabi nga ni Miss Saint, iba talaga ang power of digital transformation. Kahit na magkakalayo tayo ngayon, it feels like magkakasama pa rin tayo. Di ba, Miss Pevi?
Yes, totoo ka dyan, DJ. And before we proceed to our guest speaker, please ready your QR code scanner for we highly encourage everyone to scan first the QR code on your screen and answer the question. We will give you 15 seconds to scan the QR code. Yan. We will pick the winners of our raffle through this QR code later. And please be reminded also to input your names and contact details for we will use that to reach you later for your prize claims.
All right. So scan nyo na po. Okay, so I hope na-scan na nila, no, Miss Pevi?
Yes, I hope so. Sayang naman ang ating mga prizes.
Yes. All right. So now here to talk about why we should invest in real estate now is the person behind Ready to Adult PH, which has more than 100,000 YouTube subscribers and more than 55,000 members in the Facebook community. She is an architect, a self-made entrepreneur, and a content creator on personal finance, entrepreneurship, and adulting how-tos. Let's all welcome our key speaker for the night, Ms. Charmaine De Leon. Good evening, Ms. Charm.
Hello, good evening.
All right.
Sige. Sorry, I can't seem to share screen. Pa-enable na lang. Okay, there. Hi everyone. Hi to everyone watching from Facebook as well. Okay. Is that good?
Yes po.
Okay. Again, good evening everyone. I think we will have a Q&A portion also later on. So please your questions na lang din so that I can expound on them later. Okay? So Okay, so today we will be talking about the basics to real estate investing. I'm going to be talking about the reasons why you should invest in real estate, considerations that you have to think about in choosing your real estate investment, and whether you are ready to invest in real estate. And then lastly, reasons why you should invest early and why I personally have been investing early as well. Um, I am the finance director of these five companies, which mainly, funny enough, we're kind of in the business of real estate. We are sublessors, or para kaming mga outdoor malls, ganon. And then next, I am an entrepreneurship and financial literacy advocate. And then lastly, as mentioned, I'm the content creator behind Ready to Adult PH. I'm not saying these to brag, but I'm actually saying these I'm sharing these to you guys as a disclaimer that I'm not a real estate broker. I'm just an individual who invests in real estate. Okay, so okay, let's talk about the context first of what we're talking about tonight, no? When you say real estate investing, I want to focus on buying or owning properties with the purpose of generating a profit. So today, everything I'm gonna be talking to you guys about, I'm not talking in the sense na you're going to be using it as your personal home, although many points will will be valid for those, but for the sake of the discussion, na we're using this property to make profit from it. Okay, so real estate investing. Okay, so why does real estate appreciate? I know we always hear this, parang, real estate almost always appreciates, tumutubo talaga yung pera dyan. But why? Essentially, it's most of the time, this is what the scenario is. The area develops. So as we can see in the real estate market here in the Philippines, those who are living in Metro Manila, Metro Cebu, or any other place na parang bustling yung city, daming offices, yun yung pinakamahal na real estate in the particular area of the city, or in the particular areas of our country in this case. So when that area develops, that it attracts work, especially employment, and it has good schools, it has a church, kompleto lahat, then people want to live there, 'di ba? Like, I think everyone here can agree na we want to be where the things are happening and near our work na din. So when people live there, there are going to be more demand, and as we know in the law of supply and demand, the more demand there is, the less we have in supply, especially because land is scarce. That's why we're going higher now. We're building more buildings kasi you can't really grow land out of thin air, 'di ba? It's very expensive to reclaim and everything. So now that you understand why real estate appreciates, you would have a better grasp and understanding on what it may look like in the future, especially for areas that are developing, especially for areas that are near or around the metro or the bustling cities. Then you would know that, okay, in a couple years time, maybe 3 to 10 years from now, these surrounding areas will also be as busy as what the cities are right now. Okay? So, how can you earn by in real estate? There are two main ways that you can earn in real estate. First is through rental income. Rental income is what you get every month from having a tenant, or even daily. So it can be short term or long term rental. And then you can rent it out either furnished, semi furnished, or bare lot or bare unit. And the other way is through capital appreciation. This is when you buy low and then sell high in the later future. With real estate, medyo it's it's a longer wait, diba? It's a long-term investment. So when you buy a property right now, maybe you can sell it for way more, maybe 10 years from now, diba? And that's what a lot of people did, especially before, when we can say, in our parents' time, ang it's so cheap pa to buy real estate properties, 'di ba? Ang bahay namin ngayon, ang laki na ng makukuha namin when we sell it. So that's the two main ways, but of course we can have a mix of both. Then we can earn both from rental income and from capital appreciation. Okay, so next, let's talk about the pros of investing in real estate or investing in properties. Of course, there's the passive income that you possibly get from rentals. There's the potential for growth, especially if you're in an up and coming area. And then there's also the stability, a form of stability, because with real estate, the prices don't fluctuate as much as the stock market, funds, cryptocurrency, diba? It's a more stable form of investment because, as we talked about earlier, land is scarce, and most of the time, real estate really appreciates. Next is the predictability. This is like a mix of the three that I've been talking about just now, na parang na when you set a property na okay, 15,000 a month, you can predict that okay, I will increase every year or every 2 years. Parang you can already plan out how much you'll be getting for the next few years, 'di ba? More or less. And lastly, it increases in value. We've talked about this already. Okay, now let's talk about the kinds of real estate. There are four main kinds that I included here kasi I feel like a lot of people only know residential. Like kami, our business is in the commercial real estate. Again, we're subleasing kasi we're like a food market. So with residentials, nandyan yung mga condo, townhouses, house and lots, apartments, and etc. With commercial, you can rent out office spaces, retail stores, restaurants, institutional or leisure. And then for industrial, you can rent it out to warehouses, factories. And then lastly, we have yung mga bare lots pa lang na either nasa mixed use area siya or parang unzoned pa siya, air quotes, unzoned pa siya for future use. So maybe you can make it into a farm, maybe you can make it into a Airbnb resort, ganon, 'di ba? So those are the main four types of real estate that I personally look at as an investor. Okay, so now let's talk about the ways you can buy real estate. So you can go through a developer like Lasandra, but there's also the secondary market. So with the developer, usually dyan yung mga pre-selling. So that's usually the cheapest you can get properties when they're just new to the market, kaka-launch lang nila. Kasi the developers usually have a hold on the prices kasi 'di ba wala pang mga patong and stuff like that, wala pang masyadong appreciation. And the next is you can buy a brand new property or yung mga tinatawag na RFO or ready for occupancy, meaning the unit or the property is already built. Once you pay, you can move in agad kasi you don't have to wait na for construction. And then lastly, there is you can buy lots from developers and then build it yourself. So those are the main ways to buy from developers. I think yung pinaka sought after is yung pre-selling because like I said, it's usually very affordable pa. And then next is the secondary market. So you can buy lot from the secondary market, meaning may mga previous owners na before you. So you can buy from them and then build on your own. You can buy yung mga for assume or mga pasalo properties. There were a lot of pasalo properties, especially during the pandemic. And then I have a video about that actually. So next is yung mga foreclosed properties. So you can buy foreclosed properties from the bank, from Pag-ibig, ganon. The reason why they are foreclosed is, for example, I'm someone, I will buy from the pre-selling or yung brand new. Tapos, maybe I loan from the bank, I loan from Pag-ibig. Tapos I can't pay for it na, or I decide to migrate, so I don't need the property anymore and I want to liquidate. Then usually ine-embargo yun ng mga banks or ng Pag-ibig. So you it's very unfortunate for the people who get foreclosed, but there are so many foreclosed properties in the bank and Pag-ibig, and they sell it really cheap because they don't want that property, they want cash so that they can let other people loan again from them, 'di ba? So okay, let's talk about why I like investing in real estate. It's not very common for someone in their 20s, even 30s, 'di ba, to be focusing on real estate investing. So I currently have four real estate properties right now, but I only own sa dalawa I only own 20% of it. So corporation kami, and I own it with four other people. So 20% each lang kami, and then the third property is with my fiance na 50-50 kami, and then yung lastly is my family home. So I'm in the process of acquiring it. So, yung time horizon, yung favorite reason ko on why I invest in real estate. Ano bang ibig sabihin ng time horizon? It means that right now I'm 27 years old. I have a long period pa. Let's say I take out a loan for my real estate properties. It will take, let's say, 15-20 years to pay it off. I will be around 47 years old by then, 'di ba? So, hindi pa ako ganun katanda, but I've already paid off my properties. And that's my favorite reason on why I invest young in real estate, because I don't want to be in my late 60s, 70s and I'm still paying off properties. Although I'm not saying there's anything wrong with that, but it's a personal choice, and I feel like it's a good reason also for many young people to invest in real estate. Another is that it serves as a forced savings for me. So we all know that in your 20s, that's when lifestyle inflation really hits. Lifestyle inflation meaning we just started earning our own money from going to school for almost 2 decades. That's when usually our careers start to really flourish, because um we're so hungry pa for new learnings. We're trying to improve ourselves all the time. So because of all of that change, a lot of people in their 20s, including myself, experience lifestyle inflation, meaning we're not used to earning our own money, and most of the time ginagastos natin sa mga walang kwentang bagay, 'di ba? So ako, I was like that then before, and that's when I decided, instead of spending for unnecessary things, I would rather invest them. And with real estate, you don't have a choice. You really have to pay it month to month, 'di ba? So may outside pressure siya that's telling you, okay, magbayad ka na sa akin, magbayad ka na. But it's not money down the drain, because it is, again, a real estate investment. So that's what I really like about having a real estate investment. It will force me to save my money for 10 to 20 years. And then lastly, I think I've touched on this already, but I love using the power of leverage, especially as 20 something. So I'm going to be explaining to you guys what I mean by using the power of leverage. I joked about in a TikTok na parang it's like a social term for utang. Bear with me though, because I might get a little bit technical, but I feel like it's important to share these numbers kasi it's what made me realize then, oh, it's not that bad pala to take out a home loan. So leveraging essentially means that you are taking out a loan, or you are um borrowing other people's money, using other people's money to help us elevate our finances. So okay, let me explain. Okay, again, the leverage para lang siyang social na version of utang, kasi when I say social, I'm not being elitist, but I'm saying social kasi yung utang kasi parang it has a negative connotation, 'di ba? We think if nangungutang ka, wala kang pera, kapos ka. But when you talk about leverage, it's essentially the same. Now you're borrowing money, but it's not making you poorer. It's actually designed to make you richer, right? So of course it depends on how you if you properly use it, no? But that's what it's intended for. So when I show you this one example, house and lot in a secure neighborhood, 5 million pesos. It has a great location, two parking slots, it has a community pool, community gym, community basketball court, fully furnished, 24/7 security, CCTV, front yard, etc. It sounds amazing, but I know that the first thing in most of Filipinos' minds is that I can't afford 5 million pesos. I don't have 5 million pesos, 'di ba? I personally don't have 5 million pesos right now sitting in the bank. So that's always what we think. But if you talk to someone who is from a first world country, like for example in the US and Singapore, and etc., they will always think, okay, so 5 million pesos, how much do I need to apply for a loan? That's the first thing that they're going to think, right? So I feel like we need to understand why people do that, why it is helpful, or why it is a tool that we can actually consider using to push us forward with our investments. Okay, so this is just a sample photo, but I know that Lysandra has a lot of house and lot properties around the outskirts of Metro Manila, right? So why do you have to take out a loan? So I'm going to give you a scenario, like let's think about yung binigay ko kanina. Most of us think that we need the whole amount to buy real estate. I personally think that when you're buying to earn, again, it's a real estate investment, not your primary residence, the best way for you to do it is actually by taking out a loan, because home loans or mortgages are really cheap. They're one of the cheapest forms of investments. Loans. They're one of the cheapest forms of loans at around 6 to 8% annually. Annually, yan. To give you guys an example, credit cards charge around 30 to 45% annually. So yung sinasabi nila na 3%, that is per month. 'Di ba? So times 12 mo yung 3%, that's 36%. Compounded pa yan monthly. So ang mahal talaga, I really suggest you don't have any utang on your credit cards. But when you apply for a home loan, imagine 6 to 8% annually. When you apply for a car loan, that's around 10% annually. So the reason why home loans are very cheap is because your collateral, meaning the property, is not going anywhere, 'di ba? That's why medyo mataas konti yung kotse, because mahihirapan silang hanapin ka at yung kotse whenever you default on your loan or hindi ka nakapagbayad. Pero yung property, hindi mo yan madadala, right? You can't put that in you can't put that in your backpack and then bring it with you anywhere. So that's why that banks and pag-ibig really make it cheap for us to borrow money for properties, real estate. Okay, so I'm going to give you guys an example. I want you to imagine right now that you have 5 million pesos. Let's see what happens if you chose to loan even if you have the money. Okay, you might be wondering, if meron naman akong 5 million pesos, bakit pa ako maglo-loan? Okay, bear with me again. This is going to have numbers. So when you take out a loan, usually hihingi sila ng 10 to 30% down payment. Let's say average lang tayo 20% down payment. That's 1 million pesos from the 5 million. A lot of developers din pala, yung 20% sinispread nila across months or even years. So that's why ang liit na lang ng binabayaran for the first 20%, because may mga promo na parang 5,000 a month, 10,000 a month lang for the first 24 months, 36 months, ganon. So it's not always that you have to pay the 20% lump sum, but that is the minimum expected more or less sa mga bangko before they lend you out the rest of the 80% in this example. Okay, I'll proceed. So yung 20% down payment, that's 1 million pesos. Let's say we decide to loan out the rest, that's 4 million pesos. So 4 million pesos, that's around 47 7,500 per month. Let's say it's a 10-year loan at 6.28% fixed interest for 5 years. So baka magtaas siya after the 5 years. So let's assume a 7% assumed annual interest. You don't worry, you don't have to compute all of this. I heard kanina sa before we started the talk that Lysandra has a loan calculator in their website. So you can use that. Input lang kayo ng mga details. Usually you just input the ilang years gusto nyo and yung amount ng property. Okay? So I'm just giving this as an example. Okay. So that's 7% um yung let's say you invest the rest of the 4 million. Kasi 1 million lang yung pinalabas mo and the rest is, this is the 4 million that came from the bank. Okay, that's other people's money. That's not yours. So your money, you will invest it. Let's say maybe you'll invest it in stocks, index funds, MP2, which is a hindi conservative, pero you can also invest it kasi in your business, diba? That's more risky and mas malaki yung potential sa business. But let's say 7% annual interest siya. Okay? So immediately, as you can see here, the numbers, nag-even out na kaagad. Nag-even out na kaagad yung tinutubo ng pera mo sa bangko at yung binabayad mo sa pag-ibig or sa bank. Okay? So parang canceled out na siya agad. But I also want you guys to consider annual inflation rate. If for those who are not very familiar with inflation, essentially yung pera natin ngayon, it's not going to be the same value in a few years time, especially like a decade from now. What I mean by that is that imagine in our parents' time, 'di ba? Or yeah, in our parents' time, 'di ba? They always say na dati yung 1,000 ang laki na ng halaga. Ngayon wala ka na masyadong mabibili diyan. So for example, sa grocery, 1,000 pesos puno na yung grocery cart. Pero ngayon 1,000 pesos parang nasa 1/3 na lang ng cart yung napupuno, 'di ba? So that's what it means by inflation. It's not really bad that countries have inflation. It's actually a sign of a healthy economy. Mas matatakot tayo if may deflation tayo as a country, pero let's say that the annual inflation rate is around 3%. That's quite on the low end, but let's say 3% annual inflation rate. Yung binabayad nyo na 47,500 pesos per month, it won't feel like it's 47,500 already in 5 years. It will only feel like it's around 40,000 a month. Okay? Note that you'll still be paying 47,500, but because maybe your salary, your earnings are already increasing, again, parang ang inflation is making it lose value, but you're still paying the same amount to the bank, 47,500 a month, then it will not feel as much anymore. On the 10th year, 10 years from now, yung 47,500 natin, it will have a value of around 35,000 pesos na lang. Okay? So I hope you're still with me. I know I'm saying a lot of numbers. You can just screenshot this then para you can read back to it later. Lastly, we have a global standard or parang global average of the annual property appreciation of 3%. I know it's much higher in the metropolitan areas like in Metro Manila. But just to be conservative, 3% annual property appreciation. Meaning if you buy a property right now and let's say it's 1 million pesos, next year it's not gonna be worth 1 million pesos na. It's gonna be worth 1,030,000 pesos if tama yung math ko. So it appreciates every year, di ba? So let's compute what all these numbers mean, di ba? So when we talk about, sorry, can you guys see my cursor ba or hindi? Yung blue na circle.
Nakikita po namin, ma'am.
Kita naman. Okay, sige. So, like I said earlier, parang na-canceled out na yung 7% na interest, 'di ba? So, with the 4 million that you invested, this value is hindi mo ginalaw yung 4 million mo, but I'm assuming if you're gonna invest it, yun din yung gagamitin mo pang bayad sa 47,500 every month, 'di ba? But assuming na hindi, yung 4 million mo will now become 7.8 million on the 10th year, assuming a 7% per annum interest. Yung annual inflation rate, yung nasi-save mo, 'di ba? Total natin binayad sa bangko instead of the 4 million after 10 years, it will be 5.7 million. But because of inflation rate, it won't feel like it was 5.7 million total. It would feel like it's around 4.9 million or 4.8 something million. So we saved 837,000. Lastly, yung property appreciation from 5 million, nagiging 6.7 million na siya. So we had an appreciation of 1.7 million. Okay? I know this sounds confusing, but bear with me. Yung loan interest natin is around negative 7%. It's taking out 7% of our 4 million. But the growth opportunity, because you are mas magaan siya sa cash flow, magagamit mo yung pera for something else, even for your business, for investing in stocks, funds. And then of course with inflation, hindi ka bagsakan nagbayad ng 4 million, you spread it across 10 years. We saved and had a growth opportunity of 13%. So nakaka-cancel out yung 7% and positive 5% tayo. Okay? That equates to around 2.9 million pesos. I got this 2.9 million pesos from adding all of these minus the 5.7 that we paid the bank. Okay? So this is if you leverage, if you put in all cash, it's actually very straight to the point. Wala, full payment 5 million pesos. You will still have because we assumed na may pera ka na, you will still have the annual property appreciation of 3%, but you will not have the investment or growth opportunity, and you will not have the annual inflation na mas magaan siya sa cash flow mo kasi you spread it across 10 years. So after 10 years, you positive 4M ka. On the other side, this one is 1.7M lang, which is yung annual property appreciation. Now, let's not count the 7% because like I said kanina, okay, parang na-cancel out lang siya if you use that money to pay down your loan. So positive pa rin. We're still up around 800,000 plus, right? Because of the savings we get from inflation. Again, this is from a 7% annual return when you invest. But what if you also, when you buy a property, you also want to start a business, di ba? And kailangan mo yung pera. You need that liquid money. And nag-expand yung business mo. And let's say 10%. Instead of the 7%, 10% yung angat ng investment mo year over year after the 10 years, di ba? So, mas lumalaki yung difference, right? Mas malaki yung advantage when you do a house loan or when you use leveraging. Okay? So, it really depends on you. Of course, 10% can be more pa, but it really depends on how proficient you are with your investments or with your businesses. So, I hope that you guys got to understand why I personally love, even if I would have the money, I would personally love, or even if I don't have the money, I like taking out a loan instead because mas magaan siya sa bulsa. I can invest my money somewhere else na baka mas malaki yung tubo, and it's better for my cash flow kasi it's spread across 10 years or 15 or even 20 years, 'di ba? So may mga banks na nag-allow 20 years, okay? So I will talk to you guys about if wala kang 5 million right now in a bit, but let me share to you first the kinds of investors or strategies. So there's no one right way to go about investing in real estate. You can do these very similar name. Ako lang gumagawa nito, pero you can do very similar things. First is the hunter, meaning you're really looking for foreclosed properties, usually cheaper than market price. A lot of people again go to the bank or go to Pag-ibig, and then they resell those to the secondary market. So why does that work when people know that you can buy from banks and from Pag-ibig? Because it's much easier to transact with an individual than it is to transact with an institution like the bank or the pag-ibig, diba? So a lot of people still prefer looking through individual sellers or brokers. So next is the flipper. Nagfi-flip ka ng properties. This is a term used when you buy, renovate, and sell properties. So this is what a lot of contractors do, a lot of architects, interior design. That's why this is actually this is very popular in the states, especially kasi maraming handy people sa states. But it's definitely, I've been seeing a lot of Filipinos do this as well. So next is the builder, meaning para ka na ding developer, like a small time developer. You build and sell properties. It can be townhouses, it can be a compound, small subdivision. So yeah, you're a builder. And then next is the swing seller. I see a lot of people do this as well, wherein they buy pre-selling properties. Usually pre-selling properties are very cheap, and then they sell it to us at right before, or parang when the property is about to be turned over. So turnover means that patapos na yung paggawa ng building, patapos na yung paggawa ng house and lot, subdivision, ganon, and ito-turn over na nila sa mga homeowners. So people are gonna start living in the community already, and that's usually when the price spikes, because a lot of people are not willing to wait years for properties to be built. That's why wala silang pasensya sa pre-selling. But at the moment na mag-turnover na yan, tapos na yung building, tapos na yung subdivision, aangat ng price yan. So a lot of people buy pre-selling, tapos just in a span of few years, they sell it agad, or parang they usually say na pasalo yan. Okay, so a lot of people frown upon this practice, but it's out there, so I'm sharing it to you guys lang din. Next is the landlord. So instead of buying and selling, or buying and renovating and selling, you're there for the long term because you want passive income, and you get to rent them out, again, short term or long term. I'm gonna quickly explain that. Short term is when you do, for example, Airbnb, wherein one day, minimum 1 week lang. Tapos ipaiba-iba yung guest nyo all the time. And then long term, usually nasa mga 6 months or at least 1 year yung contract niyan. Okay, so that's really for residents. Usually for short term, you can earn more, but you also have higher overhead expenses, kailangan nyo linisin. Of course, you have to respond to the people renting your place. So, grabe yung customer service nyo dyan. I'm actually a short-term rental manager before the pandemic. Ngayon, ginawa na namin siyang long-term yung property. But, yeah, a lot of people don't have patience for that, for a little bit, for earning a little bit more. Long term, usually it's going to be cheaper because those are locals yung nagre-rent, not necessarily for tourists or business. Okay. Okay, now let's talk about um, how ready are you to invest in real estate? This is where I'm going to be talking about yung sinabi ko kanina na what if you don't have the 5 million right now, right? Is it still an option for me to borrow money from the bank? Is it still an option for me to leverage? Yes, of course, but given these things, okay? First, what do you need? First, you need good credit. It The banks, especially nowadays, they're very strict on the compliance and the income of the people that they're letting borrow money. So they're lending money to. So assuming na you're taking out a loan, make sure that you build good credit as early as now, so that you can get the best offers on the interest rates. Yes, you can actually shop around and even haggle interest rates from banks, especially if my relationship ka na with the bank. You have savings accounts there, you have credit cards there, you've loaned there before. The better you are at paying off your credit card, the better you are at being a client of the bank, the better rates they will give you when you loan out. Okay, so don't get the first loan offer that you get. Shop around for different offers. Okay, so there's also a possibility that you don't get approved, especially if you have zero credit history, meaning wala ka pang credit card, wala ka pang even save. That's not really a big factor, but even you don't have savings account, you don't have a debit card, those can negatively affect you borrowing money. The bank, as much as they want to trust you and they think that you have the means to pay, they need to back it up kasi and prove to the institution that I'm approving this person kasi I feel like this person can pay. Next is you need enough knowledge. Real estate property investing is a big form of investment. It's not like other properties that you can it's not like other investments that you can put in money for like 5,000 pesos lang, 10,000 pesos lang. With real estate, usually the property value is in the millions, 'di ba? I think Lissandra's properties around 2 to 8 million a range. That's not a small amount of money. So you need to do thorough research on location. Make sure that it's a location that you can already envision what it will look like also in the future. Hindi lang ngayon, 'di ba? Because as much as a lot of places boom, there are also a few places that parang maraming tao yung umaalis sa city sa location or sa city na yan, 'di ba? So you also research talaga. Brokers, real estate investors will say like, location, location, location. I think you guys know that already. And then pricing in the area, you have to research that as well. You can look up in a lot of websites, sorry, Facebook groups, Facebook Marketplace, and even directly from developers. When I say pricing in the area, you can compute the peso per square meter. So, for example, it's a 3 million peso property and it's 30 square meters. That's around 100,000 pesos per square meter. So, that peso per square meter amount, that's usually a good range for you to think about, to compute if okay ba yung pricing ng area na to. Kasi if you're going to think about, okay, 5 million yung dalawang property, but this is a 20 square meter condo, and in the same area, this is a 25 square meter condo. So obviously, the 5 million na 25 square meter condo is cheaper. Um, the, as compared lang to the price to price ratio, this is cheaper, but of course there are a lot of other things that could affect the price, like the location, as I just mentioned. Tapos also consider the developer. I'll be talking more about the four things that you have to focus on talaga later on. But yeah, enough knowledge and enough research on it. There are also a lot of YouTube videos about real estate property investing. So next is have 10 to 30% of the total contract price. I say this because a lot of people think or they get lured with the marketing na down payment 5,000 pesos only, or pay 5,000 pesos a month for this property. But again, usually that's only for the first 10 to 30% of the property, 'di ba? As I mentioned kanina, that's only gonna last for around 2 to 3 years. When you borrow from the bank, it really depends on how long na yung loan niyo sa bank. You can choose 5, 10, 15, 20 years ganon. So make sure that you have enough money to pay man lang the first 10 to 30%. Ideally 30% of the total contract price, because other than the property itself, there are a lot of fees, 'di ba? may mga initial fees yan, move-in fees, documents, processing fees, and etc. So you really have to have a reliable cash flow and do not rely on the thought na, oh, I'm going to have this rented out naman. So I will just, yung makukuha ko from rental income, yun na lang pambabayad ko. That's not a bad way to consider your business strategy, but it's bad when that's all the money that you have and you're relying on that 100%, because as a property manager myself, I can tell that you are not going to be 100% booked all the time. Especially if kaka-listing, kaka-put up mo pa lang sa listing mo, there are going to be months na wala talagang tao. I think a lot of people realized this also during the pandemic. My safe bet would be around 60 to 70% occupancy rate. So you still really have to have the money then, at para ng cherry on top na lang yung rental income, 'di ba? Like I said kanina, that serves as your passive income na. Don't treat it as that it will pay for your property, kasi it's not always reliable, although it's a pretty good bet, but it's not always reliable. Okay, next I have these few numbers I want you guys to think about, especially again if you don't have the full amount just yet and you want to loan for your real estate property. You can afford 3 times the annual income. So for example, you want a 3 million peso property, you need an annual income of 1 million pesos, or I think that's around shy of 90,000 pesos per month. Okay, kasali na dyan yung mga bonuses, 13-month, everything. So you need to be earning around a third of the property price. Okay, next is the 30% that I mentioned earlier. Save at least the 30% first of the property value. This is again for down payments and other fees. And then this is a global rule of thumb, 2836. The loan amount that you have, example, you are paying yung kanina, 47,500 yung example natin, 'di ba? For a 5 million peso property. What you're paying every month to the bank, to Pag-ibig, it should not be more than 28%. So if you're earning 100,000, dapat cap na yung 28% na binabayad mo sa bank every month. Kasi that's already a big chunk of your salary, 'di ba? 28,000 out of 100,000. So next is the total debt that you have from the bank should not be more than 36% of your total income. Okay, so this is served annually. So okay, so how do you price your rental properties? They have this rule of thumb sa industry that they call 1% rule of thumb. That's a little bit too optimistic for me. So I would like to give you guys na parang 0.5 to 1% rule. Okay, what does that mean? Sa total contract price ng property, dapat nasa mga 25 to 50,000 pesos lang yung rental na ine-expect nyo per month or tina-target nyo per month from the 5 million pesos. So that's, you just times that with 0.005 or 0.01 yung total price, and that's what you can possibly charge to your future tenants. Okay, so para lang you will have an idea on what you will be pricing your property, times nyo lang ng 0.5 to 1%. Okay, so okay, these are the main things that you have to be paying attention to when you are when you are planning to invest in real estate. I already talked about location a lot earlier, when you really have to study the potential and the surrounding area of your property. Ang daming factors nito. It could include the availability of, the basics, yung hinahanap talaga ng mga tao, church, malls, hospitals, schools, office more work of if may mga offices ba sa area, kasi those are going to be your potential tenants. And then it can also include security, for example, 'di ba? If the area is secured ba, or parang maraming crimes dito na area kasi madilim and hindi masyadong maganda yung adjacent neighborhood. So that will all affect kasi how you will market your property later on if naghahanap ka na ng tenant. Number two is the broker. Get a registered and trusted broker, because there are so many horror stories of, brokers um running away with money, or brokers who does not know how to do due diligence on your part, kasi the professional brokers, alam talaga nila anong hahanapin, alam nila kung anong isa-suggest sa'yo, anong maganda for you, ganon. And they're very objective, and hindi sila namimilit, ganon. So, make sure that you get a registered and trusted broker. And the next is the developer. The quality kasi of the real estate developer, kung maganda yung image nila, um yung history nila or your track record nila, that will also dictate if maganda yung quality ng property na bibilhin mo. Again, there are a lot of horror stories na pag move in ng buyer, within the month, the tiles are cracking, the walls are already may cracks na, it's falling apart na, ganon, na because the developer didn't get a good contractor then, and didn't make sure that the home was of quality and it was of sound materials. So yeah, if maganda yung record and reputation ng developer nyo, then you will have less headaches later on as a landlord or etc. And then lastly, people miss out on this a lot, but you also have to think about the property management. Ano ba yung property management? For example, if you live in a condo, there's usually an office sa baba. Sila yung nag-handle and nagpapasweldo ng mga security guard, maintenance, sila yung tatawagan if may problema, ganon, and they will help out. So, sila yung nagko-collect ng electricity nyo, water bills nyo, ganon. Even with villages then, it's not just the HOA, but there's also a property manager. Service kasi and maintenance of the property is very important. People often think about this last, but come to think of it, choosing the location, the broker, the developers, those are all in the first stage, maybe in the first year of processing the purchase of a property. But after that, pang forever na usually yung property management, diba? Or property manager. And again, I've heard horror stories wherein hindi nagko-collect or hindi nagbibill yung property manager nila ng electricity. What happened? More than 6 months na silang hindi nakapagbayad, naputulan yung entire building. And it's not even that they were not willing to pay, it's just that they didn't know how much to pay, and irresponsible yung property managers, diba? So, a lot of developers, sister company nila yung property management. I think that's the case also with Luzandra. And usually that's good kasi if you can trust the developer that they're quality real estate developers, then you can also trust that it's a quality property manager. Okay, so that's also very important. Look into sino yung nagmamanage, outsider lang ba? Kasi meron ding ibang developer na, bahala na kayo. Homeowners Association na yung bahala sa lahat. Okay? So, now I've talked about a lot of good things about real estate investing, but let's talk about quickly the cons of real estate investing. So, sorry. Cons ng real estate investing, first and foremost, again, malaki yung amount na kailangan for real estate property or property investing, and your money is going to be tied down to your property. Even if it's just 20% down payment, di ba? Yung 20% ng 5 million, that's already 1 million. Malaking amount yon. And if you need the money right now, it's not as easy to liquidate as other forms of investment or cash. So that's something you have to think about. Next is the upkeep and the maintenance. If you want to be a landlord, if you want passive income, it's not going to be all easy all the time. You will be tasked to maintain the property. If may leak, ikaw yung tatawagan. If even if may manakawan sila, tatawagan ka pa rin ng tenant mo. If may sunog, if may baha, anything. And you will be coordinating with contractors or people who will to fix that property. If it's the tenant's fault naman, most of the time you can charge them. But for regular wear and tear, which is very normal for properties, then that's part of your responsibility. Also, taxes, real estate property tax, that's paid annually, usually at the beginning of the year. That's also your responsibility. Okay, so the upkeep and maintenance is still there, even if you are very parang hands off as a landlord. Lastly, it's very similar to the first point, pero you run the risk of being house poor. Um, House poor is a term in the industry wherein they say that almost all of your money is tied down to a property. So let's say 90% of your investment portfolio nasa real estate. Okay, so you don't have a good cash flow. If kailangan mo ng pera, if there's an emergency, again, mahirap siyang i-liquidate agad-agad, and baka lugi ka pa because you're really desperate for the money. So benta mo na lang ng palugi. So um that's why I want to make this last point. A property should not be your only investment, because again, you run the risk of being house poor. Always try to diversify your investments, diba? You can invest in maybe bonds, mutual funds, UITFs, ETF stocks, crypto, kahit ano, but don't make it all your money is tied down to just one property. Okay, so I think that's it. I hope I was within the time limit given to me. If you have any questions, feel free to let me know.
Ayan, all right. Thank you, Miss Char, for that very insightful presentation. Especially the way you discuss on how real estate appreciate its value over time. So you're indeed real about that. I'm sure yung diniscuss mo kanina, land is scarce, 'di ba? So having your own property could really make your life even better in the future. Kasi nga paubos na yung land in the future, parang pamahal ng pamahal. There's no other way but up yung mga prices natin with real estate. Tama po ba?
Yes.
Mm-mm. Kaya I'm with you dun sa sinabi mong location is very important in capital appreciation and as well as the rentability of the property. Diba? So it's very important. And I also want to appreciate yung in-emphasize mo kanina that we need to invest at we need to invest while we are still young and financially productive, because it's true, the property become our forced saving already for the future, di ba? So, yun yung mga key point na nakita ko kanina sa presentation mo. Ang
All
galing.
right.
Especially yung leverage, no, DJ?
Yes, tama ka dyan, Miss
Social.
Pevi.
Social yung word niya ng utang, leverage.
Yeah. Okay, all right. I'm sure everyone's eager to ask questions now. So do we have questions coming in from our
Yeah, DJ.
audience?
Yes, DJ. For our first question, what are the things that we need to consider in choosing our real estate investment?
Okay, so what you need to do when you're deciding on a property is first decide on your goals. So if you, for example, if you want to have a rental property, all your next decisions will be based upon this first decision, diba? Again, when I shared about the 5 ways or 5 types of investors, choose first what type of investor you want to be, and then what kind of property you'll be buying will that will dictate the rest. So example, ngayon I want a rental property, diba? Gusto ko i-cater for working individuals. So I will try to look for a property near offices. Kasi of course, they're not going to specifically rent talaga a condo tapos ang layo-layo, 1 hour away, 2 hours away sila sa pinagtatrabahoan nila, 'di ba? They will try to live as near to their workplace and as near to, if they have a family, where saan nagsaschool ang children nila. That's why it's very important to, yun, again, consider location talaga. And then, yeah, for me, I'm not going to overwhelm you guys. I think I've talked about the other categories enough. But yeah, that's the biggest consideration.
Ayan, so that's right, Miss Charm, no? So location talaga yung isa sa mga pinaka-tinitignan. Okay, we have another question from our audience po. How do you determine the value of your investment property?
Okay. Um, I get this question a lot, and parang I get confused sometimes. You can add on to it if you guys want, but for me, I just look online. I feel like that's one of the there are websites that give you price per square meter of the area, like what I gave as an example earlier. It's different for condos and for house and lots kasi different quality siya. But yeah, I look for it online, and don't just look for one source. Look for 5 to 10 similar properties in the same area, and then you will more or less have an idea na, okay, nasa mga, yung area pala na to, nasa mga 200,000 per square meter, mahal pala, or ang area na to, nasa mga 50 to 80,000 per square meter yung range. So, yeah, that's more or less how you get, if we're talking about market rate ha, yung binebenta na rate, kasi if we're talking about zonal value, you can check it out on BIR. It's available, it's readily available in the BIR. Zonal value means it's the minimum value of your lot when you're talking about taxes and all of that. So, yeah.
You're right with that, Miss Charm, no? On to our third question is actually, this is my personal question to you. Given that I already have a property, how can I maximize the investment property profits?
Okay. I love this question kasi I feel like a lot of people think, okay, I bought the property. I don't know what next. What's next, 'di ba? I encounter, like I mentioned kasi I tried to do property investing before, although I don't really have much time for it now. Pero I encounter a lot of people na they have the mindset na ang laki na ng ginastos ko sa property, milyon-milyon na. Ayaw ko nang mag-spend anymore. So, what they do is they try to buy the cheapest furniture, the most uncomfortable mattress, the ugliest color of paint. I do not understand it. They really skimped on the design and the decorations. And for me, if you want to rent it out, especially if you're renting it out semi-furnished or furnished, invest on the right furnitures, invest on even getting an interior designer, or just making the space very functional and very homey. Kasi a lot of people, and then after, take really good pictures of it. Yun talaga, because everything right now online na pinopost eh. Ang hirap ng each and every person who's interested, ito tour mo talaga sa unit. Ang hirap na, 'di ba? So yun, that's the two things. And most of the time people give me the excuse na I already spent millions on the property, I don't want to spend anymore. But what is another like tens of thousands or even like a few hundred thousands as compared to the millions you've already invested, 'di ba? And a couple of months of it being rented out, bawi na. But other people will, ayaw talaga nila na they spend, they will even try to last years of it not being rented out rather than making it look better. So if you want to be a landlord in the future, think naman of, put yourself in the shoes of people who are going to live in it. Would you live in it, 'di ba?
Yes, that is good to hear, Miss Charm. As well as yung sinabi mo kanina, we need to maximize the digital, di ba? We need
Yes.
to post and dapat maganda siya. So
Brightly lit.
anyways,
On
mm,
mo lahat ng ilaw, open mo lahat ng windows para may ilaw. Kasi ang daming pictures online na parang ang dilim-dilim, di mo makikita sa multo.
yes, opo. Okay. For our fourth question, actually this question came from one of our audience. So question niya po is, good evening, Miss Charm. I'm still a student. What tips or advice as a preparation into investing in real estate?
Yeah, yung sinabi ko kanina, I think the two main ones are start building your credit. It can be as easy as starting to have a credit card. Just remember, pay in full and on time every month yan. Wala kang don't leave any balance sa credit card mo. the better you are at paying, the easier it is for you to get a loan in the future, 'di ba? And then next is yung research. That's if you don't have the money right now, there are a lot of free information online. Drown yourself with research muna. So ako before I started investing in real estate, I invested on my first property like 3 years ago. I was already so obsessed in real estate because also I'm an architect, 'di ba? So yun talaga yung that's what we studied about, and we are around yung topics namin revolving around buildings, bahay, condo, lahat. So learn ng talaga muna, read articles, read books. YouTube is my favorite source of content. Also talk to other people, brokers, your friends who have real estate properties, and just learn from them.
All right. Thank you po, Miss Charm, for answering the questions, no? So there you have it. Thank you, Miss Charm, for joining us in our Property Investors Night. I'm sure I'm speaking in behalf of all our attendees all over the world that we really learned a lot about real estate investing and why it should be among the top choices for investment right now.
I fully agree on that, DJ. But before we move on to the next part of the program, which is equally exciting, we want to give this certificate of appreciation to Miss Charm. This certificate of appreciation is presented to Ms. Charmaine De Leon for sharing knowledge and expertise as our guest speaker in Luzon Property Investors Night on this 5th of November 2021. Signed, Sir Eduardo T. Aguilar, Division Head, Lessandra. Once again, thank you so much, Ms. Charm, for accepting our invite as our key speaker for Lissandra's Property Investors Night.
Thank you so much for having me.
All right. So now I'm sure everyone is thinking on the property that they would be purchasing after hearing Miss Charm. But for now, we are going to first announce the winners on the first round of our raffle from the survey earlier. Are you all excited?
Yes, I am excited, DJ. So let's not keep them waiting. The 5 winners of 500 loads are, congratulations, Ronel Alvin Sarmiento, Sigel Sedjar, Winston Gregor Valdres, Jeff T. Diqueña, and Gian Paula Encinare. So once again, congratulations to our first set of winners of 500 loads.
All right. So congratulations again to our first set of winners. Everyone still has a chance to win prizes, so scan this new QR code now and answer the poll to join. All right, just a reminder everyone, don't forget to input your contact details so that we can easily contact you to claim your prize. And now we'll be giving you 15 more seconds to scan this QR code. All right. So i-scan nyo na po and a chance to win for our second raffle. Diba, Miss Pevi?
Wow.
Yes.
So scan nyo na po.
All right. So I hope na scan na nila, no, at nasagot na rin nila ang nasa poll natin. Okay? So the second set of winners will be announced in a bit. And we still have one more QR code and raffle later, and I have not yet mentioned Miss Pevi, no, that for our major prize winner later, he or she will be receiving 5,000 pesos.
Wow, that's so generous, DJ.
Yeah.
So everyone, please watch out for the next QR code to join the raffle. So moving on to the next highlight of our event, let's get to know one of the top Philippine real estate developers today. A home builder with an international recognition of one of the best startup residential brands to follow. Let's all watch this video about Lessandra.
Lasandra comes from the most trusted in the home building industry, Vista Land. Present in more than 40 areas nationwide and growing, Lasandra confidently prides itself as a key player in the real estate industry, ensuring a convenient, safe, and secured life for every Lasandra homeowner. You are surely close to all the progress in each Lasandra affordable house and lot projects. First, we have Lasandra in North Luzon, a region that sits in the northern portion of the Philippines, the seat of economic and political center of the country, a source of different root crops and vast selection of delicacies, the land of beautiful destinations and places to visit and explore. This is Lasandra, North Luzon. Here are the major road developments in Lasandra, North Luzon. We have North Luzon East Expressway, the North Luzon Expressway, the Subic-Clark-Tarlac Expressway, and the Tarlac-Pangasinan-La Union Expressway, and of course, the Central Luzon Link Expressway that will connect the SETEX and TPLEX to the currently under construction North Luzon East Expressway in Cabanatuan towards San Jose, Nueva Ecija. Next, we have Lasandra in South Luzon. Lying southeast of Manila, the provinces that make up southern Luzon are home to some of the country's most popular tourist destinations. Not very far from the sprawl of Metro Manila, it provides a variety of tourist spots, from heritage towns to luxurious beach resorts. And of course, a growing ecotourism destination, this is Lasandra, South Luzon. Here are the major road developments in Lasandra, South Luzon. We have Cavitex. We also have South Luzon Expressway, in which access from Metro Manila going to the provinces of Calabarzon region is now very convenient. We also have the SLEX TR4 and Star Tollway, which is connected to SLEX, shortening further the travel time between Manila and Batangas. Next, we have Lasandra in Visayas, a major island and cultural grouping in the midsection of the Philippines. Nearly every part of the region has some fine beaches along its coasts, some fine diving areas including many coral reefs teeming with life, and some interesting historic buildings. This is Lasandra, Visayas. For airports, we have Bacolod Silay Airport, Iloilo International Airport, Dumaguete Airport, Bantayan Island Airport, a soon-to-rise Medellin International Airport, and Daniel Romualdez Airport. And we also have the Port of Bogo and Dumaguete Port, which is only 20 minutes away from Lasandra, Dumaguete. Next, we also have Lasandra in Mindanao, also commonly known as the Southern Philippines and considered as the major breadbasket of the country, with 8 of the top 10 agri-commodities exported from the Philippines coming from there. The land of promise, this is Lasandra in Mindanao. Here are the airports in Lasandra, Mindanao. We have the General Santos International Airport and the Laguindingan Airport. We also have the Port of General Santos, and for terminal hubs, we have Bulaong Bus Terminal in Lisandra, General Santos. And for Lisandra in Coronadal, we have the Coronadal New Bus Terminal and Yellow Bus Line. Present in more than 40 areas nationwide and growing, Lasandra confidently prides itself as a key player in the real estate industry, ensuring a convenient, safe, and secured life for every Lasandra homeowner. With every homeowner in mind, Lasandra made sure that all its communities exhibit an angat and aliwalas life. The affordable and house and lot offerings, coupled with accessibility and community amenities, guarantee that every Filipino can lead a truly satisfying life. More than building houses and communities nationwide, Lasandra can definitely turn your dream into reality.
Wow. It really is amazing that Lysandra has properties to offer, may it be in Luzon, Visayas, or Mindanao. Not only that, investors and home buyers are guaranteed that these communities are situated in prime locations. Right, Miss Bevy?
Right, you are DJ. And digging deeper on the great deals and offer Lessandra has in store for us, join us as we welcome Miss Camille Natividad here to walk us through everything we need to know about Lessandra and why Lessandra is one of the best property investment for Filipinos, lalo na sa ating mga kababayang overseas Filipinos.
Thank you, Fabi and DJ, and good evening to our business partners, future home buyers, and to our investors who are with us tonight. And on behalf of Lessandra, I am here to show you what are the great returns and deals Lysandra could offer most likely to our investors and, of course, first-time home buyers here and abroad. Ms. Charm earlier discussed on why you should invest in real estate. So now I would like to walk you through on why should Lysandra be on top of the list to consider on your real estate property investment, and the top 6 reasons why Lysandra is the best real estate property investment commonly to our overseas Filipino. So I have here the list of the top 6 reasons why Lysandra is the best real estate investment for overseas Filipinos. So first, it is easy to own housing. One of the major concerns of our overseas Filipino kababayan is nagkakaroon sila ng difficulty to choose what property is the best for them kasi malayo sila and hindi nila actually ma-check yung mga properties, right? But with Lisandra, we bring you the convenience and satisfaction of home buying experience through our online innovations, from virtual tours or virtual site tours, virtual house model tour, Lisandra home loan calculator, on where you can generate sample computation of all house models from our Lisandra projects nationwide. Ganon ka-easy mag-check ng units or properties natin sa Lisandra. And of course, online reservation and online payment. Indeed, I can say that Lysandra home buying experience is literally as easy as 1, 2, 3. Additional to that, we are also offering flexible payment schemes to our home buyers also. And next, on top of it, we have the Maaliwalas community. So I'm sure Lysandra always makes sure that satisfaction won't stop in the 4 corners of their dream home, but we make it a point to exceed their expectations on the community they lived in. Every Lysandra community has its world-class amenities na talagang ma-enjoy ng ating mga home buyers once they move into our community. Yan. We have our 24-hour security. We have our clubhouse, swimming pool, basketball court, playground, parks and gardens. We have also our shuttle services and jogging paths. So yung ibang features and amenities dito ay available din sa selected Lysandra areas natin nationwide. And of course, minention kanina na ni Ms. Charm na neglect natin or list priority natin kasi yung after maka-move in dun sa property. So we have to consider the property management. And to maintain the aliwalas in every Lysandra community, we have tied up with professional property management officers para mas ensure na malinis and safe pa din ang ating community right after maka-move in yung ating mga homeowners. So we have our 24-hour security service, shuttle services, and of course maintenance services. We have tied up with our sister company, Global Land, for this management of the property. And next, ito yung sinasabi natin na pinaka kino-consider nung ating mga home buyers ngayon. The biggest consideration natin is of course the location. So in Lysandra, kung napanood nyo kanina sa ating video, we are present lang naman in more than 64 locations nationwide, di ba? Talagang maraming pagpipilian ng ating mga home buyers kasi we always make sure that every Lysandra community is strategically located in the progressive areas na malapit sa schools, hospitals, churches, business, commercial, transportation hubs. And you know what? Location also contribute sa pagtaas ng value ng property. Talagang sa Lysandra, yung great returns dito nyo mahahanap when it comes dito sa locations natin. And of course, inuulit-ulit natin to na Lysandra is offering affordable homes. You can now have your dream quality home and at a very affordable price. Kasi Lysandra offers a wide range of affordable yet quality homes. We have house and lot packages that start at the price of 1.9 to 9 million. So yun yung pwede nating pagpilian dito sa Lysandra. And connected din to dun sa diniscuss ko kanina na property management and maaliwalas community. We make sure that Lysandra community is safe and secured community kasi no need na kasing mag-worry pag safety na ang usapan natin dito sa Lysandra. This is also yun nga, related sa Maliwalas community kasi when you decide to buy a property, you should check kung paano ba na ma-manage nung ating developer yung kanilang property right after ma-turnover nga sa mga homeowners natin yung kanilang property. Kasi our communities naman in Lasandra are secured, guaranteed 24/7 with its high fence protections and round-the-clock security. And ito yung pinaka maganda sa lahat, yung bakit nga ba ito yung top reason dun sa lahat or dun sa six na dinidiscuss ko, lucrative investment. Bakit? Ito lagi yung tanong, bakit nga ba magandang investment ang real estate at bakit Lasandra? So Lasandra homes are very versatile. Ito yung sinasabi ko lagi. Versatile bakit? Kasi it can be transformed from primary homes, binili mo siya na house and lot, to an income-generating investment. Bakit income-generating investment? So our home buyers, whether end user ka or investors ka, you can resale it at a higher value or you may opt to rent it out at a higher rental rates depending on the location ulit. So rental opportunities, alam natin na mataas yan pag maganda ang location ng isang community or ng isang project or ng isang property, di ba? So knowing Lisandra na talagang strategically located, kung napanood natin dun sa video, na strategically located in the progressive areas, malapit sa airport, malapit sa schools, malapit sa malls, malapit sa industrial parks, malapit sa infrastructure projects, talagang guaranteed na mataas yung rental rates and value appreciation ng mga properties natin dito. Kaya naman inuulit-ulit ko na we guarantee the best returns when you invest talaga in Lasandra because the value appreciates and never depreciates. For you to realize how much return our home buyers were able to get from investing in Lasandra. So kung makikita natin dito sa graph, yung mga kumuha ng property way back 2018, so sample natin ng average PCP natin or total contract price natin when they availed a certain house and lot ay nasa 1.9 lang. Imagine 1.9 million ng 2018 and coming 2021, 2.7 na pero hindi pa tapos ang 2021. So maaaring tumaas pa yan in the end of the year 2021. 2.7 more or less baka nasa 3 million na yan. So imagine ilang taon lang pero you earn almost 1 million from investing early, di ba? So yun yung sinasabi natin na investment talaga. So hindi natin sinasasabing tulog yung pera natin dito sa real estate investment. So that's why we always reiterate and we always remind our fellow kababayan that the best time to invest is always now. Kaya naman we encourage each and everyone to check our Lessandra projects na din. So kung meron kayong preferred location, you can drop a message in our chat box or sa ating Facebook Live. So I think DJ and Fevy na hit ko naman yung mga yung mga points na gusto kong i-reiterate when it comes to bakit nga ba si Lessandra yung best real estate property investment in connection doon sa bakit kailangan nating mag-invest sa real estate as what Ms. Charm discussed earlier, the location, the value appreciation, di ba?
Yes, Miss Camille, no? Ako nga malapit na ako mag-invest sa mga sinabi niyo, no? Okay. So that just shows na magandang investment talaga ang real estate, especially if they will invest in Luzandra. All right. So when it comes to communities, Luzandra is available talaga all over the Philippines. Now my question with you, Miss Camille, no? What are our options naman when it comes to house choices? Kasi panigurado ako, maraming gustong makaalam kung ano-ano nga ba yung mga bahay na ino-offer ni Luzandra.
Yes, TJ, magandang question yan kasi I am also more than excited to introduce you all on the wide range of affordable yet quality homes offered by Lessandra. And I'm sure everyone in here who wants to invest has already in mind on what type or size of home they want or they prefer rather. And I know you will find it here in Lessandra tonight. So here are the house models available in Lessandra. So we have our Lessandra series. So we have our townhouses, so that is aerial, and we also have our solo units. For the Lessandra series, these are the units that has 2 bedrooms and 1 toilet and bath. And all of these units are complete in turnover. So we have the townhouse and solo units from Ariel, Crisel, Isabel, Friel, and Sienna. So price range nito, nandito naman sa baba lahat, from 1.9 million to 4.6, but it depends on the area they are available in, and also the lot size, kung saan, kung ano yung prefer ng mga clients natin. Kasi we can go on a bigger lot size eh. Diba? And also, kung meron tayong mga small packages, we also have our bigger packages na suit dun sa mga families na extended or extended family, nakasama si lolo, si lola, etc. So we are offering our premier series. So these are the bigger package. So we have Bella, Cara, Dani, and Ella. These are 2 to 5 bedroom unit with 2 to 3 toilet and bath. So from 4.3 million to 7.8 million. So yan yung ating premier series. So these units are available on selected Luzandra projects natin naman nationwide. So hindi pa dyan natatapos. Kung meron kaming premier series, meron naman kami Grande series. So ito na yung biggest package namin dito sa Luzandra. So we have Freya and Greta na meron na siyang carport and balcony. These units, meron silang 5 bedrooms and a 3 toilet and bath. So price range niya is 7.4 to 10 million pesos. And lahat ng units na to ay available then on selected Lessandra projects natin nationwide. So you can check din ang our website at www.lessandra.com.ph for the list of house models na ito and yung kanilang features para ma-check nyo kung ano yung suitable sa preference nyo or preferred nyong unit. Also, you can check the computation via our Luzandra Home Loan Calculator. So, preferred unit, preferred location, and the sample computation, you can generate it on our website then. So that's it for our house models. Ang dami, di ba? Parang ang dami pamimilian ng mga home buyers natin. Hindi sila mauubusan ng pamimilian dito sa Luzandra.
All right, Miss Camille, that is remarkable talaga on how Lisandra offers wide array of property options. Ang dami nga talagang house series na pwedeng pagpilian ng ating mga investors with Lisandra. Actually, kanina, habang dinidiscuss mo yung mga houses, no, aside po ba dun sa mga house and lot packages, do you also have lots only and condominium packages in Lisandra?
Yes, Abby, that's a nice question. Aside from the house and lot packages that I've mentioned earlier, yes, we do offer lots only packages on selected Lisandra projects natin nationwide. And ito yung pinakamaganda ngayon. You were asking kung ano pa yung iba naming ino-offer aside from our house and lot only. As you know, Luzandra continued to grow and expand. Luzandra's newest product offering is, ready na ba kayo? Is a condominium project that will rise at the heart of the progressive city of San Jose del Monte, Bulacan. So everyone, hindi ko na kayo papaghintayin pa ng matagal. Eyes on the screen and let's experience the ultimate vertical life in Lasandra Stories. So that's our newest condominium project in San Jose del Monte, Bulacan. That's Lessandra Stories. And to give you a brief overview about Lessandra Stories, so Lessandra Stories is a community offering the upsides of exclusivity and modern living, making it accessible to Metro Manila and future transportation developments in the area. So you can take a step higher with Lessandra Stories and have your own space for as low as 18,500 monthly down payment only. And not to mention, Lessandra Stories also is close to the future transportation developments in the city, such as MRT7, C6 Expressway, North Luzon East Expressway, and the New Manila International Airport. So, Lessandra Stories also talagang ina-adapt din nila yung ating accessible location. And I'm sure the property value of Lessandra Stories will definitely increase in the future. Kasi ngayon, nasa pre-selling stage pa lang ang Lessandra Stories. So make sure na yung mga home buyers natin ngayon, you can invest also in Lessandra Stories. So again, that's Stories by Lessandra in San Jose del Monte City, Bulacan.
Alright, so inintroduce na nga po ni Lisandra ang kanilang pinakabagong product offering with Lessandra Stories. So ito naman, Miss Camila, no? For the benefit of our audience tonight who wants to invest a Lessandra property, papaano po ba ang process? So how do we invest in Lessandra?
Okay, so DJ, kasi kanina 'di ba na-mention ko na parang main consideration ng ating mga, lalo na yung mga ating overseas Filipino kababayan and also yung mga kababayan natin dito sa Pilipinas na mahirap kasi pumunta ng mga sites kasi syempre pandemic. So in Lisandra, we care about your safety. Kaya we keep on innovating ways para mas easy to own yung investment nyo with Lisandra. Kasi when you invest in Lisandra, you are just few steps closer to your dream home through our online reservation process. So, paano nga ba? 3 steps lang yan. Kaya literally, reservation or purchasing a home in Lisandra is easy as 1, 2, 3. So, step 1, after mo makapili ng location or preferred mong location and house model na gusto mo. So, after nyan, if you decided to reserve, step 1 lang, fill out our electronic buyer's information sheet. Ang kailangan lang dyan is your details and employment, etc. And step 2, you have to submit the required documents. Actually, ang kailangan lang natin dito is valid ID of the principal buyer and also if may spouse, so ID ng spouse, and if meron siyang representative, kasi OFW siya, pwede rin, kailangan din natin ng IDs nila. And for other requirements like, or documents like the signed quotation sheet and reservation agreement. So ito namang mga documents na to ay ipoprovide ni Luzandra for signature ng ating mga home buyers. And last step natin, payment na ng reservation fee natin. And hassle-free din yan dahil pwede tayong magbayad ng ating reservation fee through our online payment facilities. So, ganun lang kadali ang reservation process natin sa Luzandra. So, talagang hassle-free ang investment natin dito.
Ayan, totoong hassle-free nga yan, Miss Camille, no? Ang dali lang pala talaga, just as easy as 1, 2, 3, makaka-reserve na ng chosen unit sa preferred location pa ng investors natin. So, tanong ko lang po, after the reservation fee, how about naman po dun sa payment terms? What are the available payment terms options ni Luzandra?
Yan. So as I was mentioning nga kanina, no, Tevi, Luzandra is easy to own housing, hindi lang dahil sa hassle-free reservation process na discuss ko earlier, but also through its flexible payment scheme. Kasi sa Luzandra, we are offering different kinds of financing, such as through spot payment, where we offer big discounts to up to 12% para dun sa mga clients natin na gustong magbayad ng buo, di ba? And also we have our short-term or what we call the straight payment financing through deferred, where our home buyers can pay the whole total contract price up to 24 months without interest. So yan yung kagandahan. And the most common financing naman that we have or we are offering our bank and in-house financing, where home buyers can pay the down payment in installment up to 15 months. And the remaining balance can be applied through bank or in-house with given interest rates. Pero hassle-free yan, yung ating bank and in-house kasi si Luzandra na rin po ang magpa-process yan. All our home buyers have to do ay i-provide lang yung necessary documents na kailangan natin, which is minimal lang naman talaga. So I think yan yung flexible payment scheme na ino-offer ni Luzandra. 'Di ba? Parang napakadami naming options. Hindi kayo mawawala ng options sa Luzandra. 'Di ba?
Tama ka dyan,
Yes.
Miss Camille. No? So napakadami palang options na available for our investors. May it be in cash or installment, no, Miss Camille?
Yes, 'di ba?
Yes. So ito naman, Miss Camille, no, for those who want to invest din naman. Because I'm sure many of you who are watching are thinking already which property to buy. So Miss Camille, do you have any promos or discounts for them?
Of course, DJ, I know everyone has been waiting for this, lalo na ngayong magpapasko. Talagang, this is the best time also to invest because of the holiday promos and deals that we are offering, di ba? So, for our buyers promo, siguro yung mga home buyers natin dito, pwede na nilang screenshot to para when they inquire with us, yan. So, mapakita nilang proof, meron buyers promo na ganito, yan. So, for our buyers promo, we promote hassle-free move-in. Bakit? So, for our number one promo, we offer complete house turnover. So, meron na siyang tiles, meron na siyang partitions, etc., etc. So, complete na yung, and painted na rin yung mga units natin in Lasandra. So, talagang, di ba, hassle-free? Sa iba kasi parang bibili ka pero bare pa, ikaw pa yung bahalang mag-tiles, etc. And also, we are offering free bank charges for our bank financing scheme. They can save up to 500,000 depending on the unit they will reserve. Also, we are offering free HOA membership and free water application. Talaga namang hassle-free move-in na yung ating mga units when they move in sa ating Lessandra community. Ano pa ba yung ino-offer ni Lessandra? Yan, we are also offering extended down payment term up to 15 months. Yan, yung ating installment for our down payment na 15%. Also, our home buyers na magre-reserve ngayong buwan can get as much as 35,000 gift certificate from Lessandra. And for our ready for occupancy units, 5% discount ang maa-avail nila. So, later on, we will discuss about siguro ready for occupancy units. But basically, for our RFO units, our clients have to pay only 5% cash out para ma-turn over na rin sa kanila unit. And meron pa silang ma-avail na 5% discount. So, ganon ka-generous ang Lessandra when it comes to discounts and other promos. And last but not the least, baka makalimutan ko, lahat na magre-reserve in Lessandra can get a free Christmas treats upon reservation. So, di ba napaka-generous ni Lessandra dun sa mga promo? Sana na, nasundan nyo kasi ang daming promo eh. Parang pati ako, ang dami na, no? Nasundan nyo ba yun, Feby? Kasi baka mamaya may exam.
Yes, talaga naman. Yes, Miss Cams, Lysandra is indeed very generous pagdating sa mga promos, no? By the way, thank you so much for that very detailed and informative discussion with you. Indeed, this is the best time to invest in Lysandra. Sabi mo nga kanina, with over 64 project location to choose from, di ba? Nationwide, affordable ang financing terms, the exclusive promos na diniscuss mo tonight, and the value appreciation as well as yung lucrative investment. Talagang wala na kaming hahanapin pa, Miss Cams. Mag-i-invest na kami agad-agad.
Indeed, Miss Pevi, ano. So while we are checking out the questions lined up for Miss Camille, we're going to announce first the second set of raffle winners, and I'm sure everyone's excited for this. Okay, our second set of winners, Miss Lovely Gian Rivera, Ken J. Reyes, Frolin Claire Ronquillo, Ladina Gonzalez, Audrey Saidoven. Ayan.
Congratulations to our second set of winners. Everyone still has a chance to win prizes. So once again, ready your QR code scanner now. Scan this new QR code and answer the poll for the final and major raffle. By the way, our major raffle is worth 5,000 pesos. So scan now and don't forget to complete your name and provide your contact details. You could also comment on our chat box below and Facebook comment sections for your questions and inquiries. Our Luzon marketing team will assist you.
Alright, so sana na-scan na nila Miss Pevi, ano?
Yes, this is the final raffle.
Alright, so sa
5,000.
tingin ko na-scan na nila Miss Pevi at may
Okay.
mananalo na para mamaya. Okay. So I'm sure everyone is considering to invest now in Lessandra properties with all those investor-friendly promos and financing schemes Lessandra has to offer.
That's right, DJ. I'm sure questions about these amazing deals are all lined up now. But wait. Up in your screen is our final QR code. I think that is tapos na, no?
Yes, yes.
Yan. Sorry. Ayan. So, already scanned na po yung ating final raffle for
Alright.
5,000.
Yes, so aabangan natin yan kung sino na ang mananalo, okay? So I'm sure we have more questions coming from our audience and guests. So let's wait no more and get started with our final Q&A.
Let's welcome again Miss Camille. Hello, Miss Camille.
Hi, Heavy and DJ.
Ayan. So, hello po ulit. So, our first question. Let us say after paying the reservation fee and completing the down payment, kailan po itatayo ang unit and kailan naman po ito pwedeng malipatan?
Yan, magandang tanong yan, Feby, kasi mostly nung mga home buyers natin yan, lagi ang tanong, di ba? Kailan pa malilipatan? So, this is how it goes. On a standard process, house construction shall start, tama, upon naman payment of full down payment, submission of documents, and at least loan approval from bank. House construction naman sa Luzon is ideally 6 to 8 months lang to finish. And moreover, after 100% completion of the house, pwede na nating i-turn over sa client yung kanyang unit after 60 days. Ganun lang ka-smooth yung ating move-in process dito sa Luzandra, di ba?
Wow, Miss Camille, that's good to know na ang dali lang palang ma-turn over ng mga units natin sa ating mga investors. Mostly online, we saw posting about RFOs. Can you clarify po sa amin what is the difference between ready for occupancies and non-ready for occupancy homes, as well as yung advantage nito sa ating mga investors?
Oo nga, kasi marami nagpo-post ngayon ng mga agents and developers about NRFO without hindi nila ma-abbreviate or hindi nila ma-meaning kung ano ba yon, di ba? So, for
Yes.
non-ready for occupancy, pag nakikita nyo siya, NRFO, these are the units that are not yet built or on a pre-selling stage. However, ito kasi yung mga units na easier or light yung terms of payment. So just like, for example, in Lessandra, we offer, for our NRFU units, we offer 15% down payment payable into 15 months. Ganun siya. So after 15 months, saka naman natin i-construct yung unit. Ganun yung ating mga non-ready for occupancy. So hindi pa siya built. When it comes naman dito sa ating RFO, from the word itself, ready for occupancy, ito naman yung mga units na already available or built na. Ito kasi yung mga units na, let's say for example, may clients tayo na meron tinitignang timeline for them to move in. Let's say for example, gusto ko magbabayad ako ngayon, gusto ko mag-move in right after 2 to 3 months. So they may opt to choose ready for occupancy units. Wherein across Lessandra projects natin nationwide, nag-o-offer din tayo niyan. Ready for occupancy and also non-ready for occupancy. So yun nga lang, for ready for occupancy, you have to prepare for a sum of money. Let's say for example, 5% cash out before the developer turn over you the unit. Ganun siya. So at least, papasok naman siya dun sa timeline na tinitingnan nyo. Let's say for example, for newlyweds, gusto na nila, may matitirhan sila right after 2 to 3 months. So yan, kaya maganda naman yung ready for occupancy natin. So yun yung difference nun.
Alright, so thank you for clarifying, Ms. Camille. No? So i-reiterate ko lang, when it comes or when we say ready for occupancy or RFO, yun yung mga bahay na already built. So for immediate turnover. Diba? Para sa mga nagmamadaling makalipat agad. And when we say non-ready for occupancy or NRFO, ito naman yung para sa mga bumibili na hindi naman nagmamadali agad-agad lumipat at ang priority is for investment talaga. Kasi yung construction niya is upon full payment ng down payment.
Ang galing mo, DJ. Nakuha mo ang difference ng NRFO and RFO.
All right. So that's it. Thank you everyone for joining us. And of course, Miss Camille, thank you for that very informative presentations about Lessandra.
Yan. DJ, before we end the presentation of Miss Camille, I think we still have two more question dun sa comment section natin sa ano. So Miss Camille, are you still available to answer these questions?
Yes, of course.
Ayan. So the question po from our attendees is condo a better investment or a house?
Actually, hindi ko kasi siya, for me hindi ko kasi siya ma-compare directly kasi they have their own purposes or depende kung anong pangangailangan ng home buyers natin. Let's say for example, gusto niya lang personal space na without parang masyadong iintindihin, or kung gusto niya naman ay parang sharing sila ng space. So they may opt to choose condo, parang minimal lang kasi yung ano nun yung maintenance, ganan. And for house and lot packages kasi, kung gusto mo talaga ng property on your own space, parang hindi mo kasi siya talaga mako-compare depending on your need kasi siya, di ba?
Yes, you're true naman po dun. So another question po, ano pong mas okay na unahin? Real estate investing or buying personal home?
Ano bang ano dyan? Ano ulit yung tanong?
Ano pong mas okay na unahin? Real estate investing or buying personal home?
Ano kasi di ba ang personal home mo is linked din sa real estate investing. So you're hitting two birds with one stone. So you invest in your personal home and then you the same time you invest in real estate. Diba?
Opo. Kasi yung personal home natin is actually one of the investment na nagiging natin din is yung value appreciation.
Yes.
So, sa nagtanong po, value appreciation po yung nakukuha natin sa pagbili ng sarili nating bahay.
Yes, of course.
Diba?
Parang yung sinasabi ko kanina na yung primary home mo can be turned to an investment kasi pwede mo siyang in the future parang pwede mo siyang i-resale or pwede mo siyang parentahan, di ba? So ganun, that's how it works. Kaya kung bibili ka ng real estate, yes, you can opt to choose or buy your personal home muna.
All right. So again, thank you po Miss Camille, no? And eto Miss Pevi, at dahil nga magpapasko na at nag-give tayo sa Luzon dito, ipa-flash ulit natin ang ating QR code for our major raffle. Siyempre, meron daw mga hindi naka-scan, so we'll give you a chance.
Sige, maraming humirit ha. We only have 15 seconds to go. So don't forget to input your name, your contact details because yan po yung gagamitin namin later to reach you.
Miss Pevi, pwede kaya akong sumali?
Pwede ba?
Alright, so ayan, i-scan nyo na. You only have 15 seconds para i-scan at para manalo ng ating major raffle worth 5,000 pesos.
Yan, that's so generous for Lasandra, no?
Alright, so feeling ko naman, Miss Pevi, no, na-scan na nila. Lahat na ng chance ibinigay namin. So pag kayo hindi pa nanalo, ewan ko na lang.
Okay.
Alright.
Ayan. So thank you once again, Miss Camille, and I'm sure everyone is ready to invest now and land great returns here in Lasandra.
Right, you are, Miss Pevi, no? Now is the best time to invest in real estate and the best time to invest in Lasandra. All right, so before we end, we would like to invite all of you to follow Lasandra's social media accounts. Ayan po sa inyong mga screen, ang Facebook account, Instagram, YouTube, TikTok, Twitter, Spotify, and Pinterest.
For inquiries, you can contact us at 0998-845-5126 and visit our website at www.lessandra.com.ph and chat live to our sales and marketing officers. Ayan, I think lahat na nakascan, no? Of course, we want to officially end the night without announcing one of the most awaited parts of the program, the announcement of our major prize of 5,000 pesos. So are you all excited? Are you excited, DJ?
Very excited, no? Baka mamaya pangalan ko yung nandyan.
Wow!
Alright. So, pakabahin muna natin. Magbilang muna tayo ng 5 seconds bago natin ilabas yung nanalo, no? So, ayan. Okay, so our lucky winner of 5,000 pesos for our major raffle is...
Dun, 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 dun. Wala bang drum roll?
Congratulations, Sir Winston Gregor Valdez.
Wow, congratulations, Sir Winston, and congratulations once again to all the winners earlier. We will contact all the winners through the contact details you've given to us earlier via QR code. So don't forget once again to follow all our social media accounts. You can also chat us now for your property investment inquiries in our comment section. For investment quotation in the future, you can contact us at 0998 845-5126 or visit our website at www.lesandra.com.ph and chat live to our sales and marketing officers.
All right. So now our night has come to an end. We hope you learned and enjoyed the informative presentations and learnings as much as we did.
We want to thank once again all our attendees who really took a time of their night to join us in Luzon Property Investors Night.
All right, so we would also like to thank our speakers, Ms. Charmaine De Leon and Ms. Camille Natividad, for sharing their knowledge to us and to our investors.
We hope this night enlightened you with the tons of worthwhile real estate investment opportunities waiting here in the Philippines and in Luzon. Your feedback is important to us. Please share your comments, concerns, suggestions, and have a chance to win prizes. Please click on the link of our feedback form in the chat box and Facebook Live comment. You can also scan our QR code projected on your screen.
All right. Okay, no? Thank you again to all our attendees and to our guest speakers. Once again, this is the Luzon Property Investors Night. I am DJ.
And I am Feby. Stay safe and see you next time, everyone.
Sa maikling panahon, I noticed one thing. Change. Sobrang dami ng pagbagong naganap dito sa Pilipinas. Kalsada dito, buildings doon, kabi-kabilang malls. Tapos meron pang bagong airport. Mga pagbabagong patungo sa modernong buhay. Lots of transformations are happening left and right. Ang layo na ng narating natin. Talagang masasabi kong umangat na ang ating bansa. At syempre, gusto ko din sumabay. Sumabay sa pag-asenso to see the result of all my hard work. Buti na lang andyan ang Lasandra. Natutulungan akong matupad ang pangarap kong buhay. From the makers of Camellia, Lasandra is a new brand that will change the way we value our homes, continuing to provide affordable, quality houses, proving its ability to stand on its own. Like me. With Essence Checklist, assured ang pag-angat ko sa buhay. In the middle of every development, of all the progress, you can see a Luzon community thriving, making its way to the top. Ang sarap talagang umuwi sa sariling bayan. Lalo na't alam ko nga nandiyan ng Lasandra. Talagang ramdam ko. Angat ako dito sa Lasandra. Sabay na sa pag-angat. Ikaw, kailan ka?